Welcome everyone to the Real Whovians cast. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Chris. What's up, Chris?
What's up, guys?
All right, so Doctor Who TV UK had a nice little poll, and I'm going to put that in the link below the video, and Chris is going to talk about it. So what is it showing, Chris?
Well, yeah, so on Doctor Who TV, they had this poll, and the question that they were asking was, are you happy with Jodie Whittaker's casting as the 13th Doctor? So, from what they're saying here, they got over 30,000 votes for it, and the results were pretty much what you would expect. 52.4% said yes, while 47.6% said no. Now, keep in mind that this question is asking, are you happy with Jodie Whittaker's casting? So
Correct.
some of the people that are saying no are maybe are okay with there being a female doctor, but they're not happy with her being cast. And the people who are saying yes, it's basically the same thing. Maybe they don't care about a female doctor, but they like her as an actress, so they're saying yes.
Right. So why don't
however,
they
of course, I'm willing to say that most of that is probably people saying yes about a female doctor or no about a female doctor, but
right,
who knows?
Why don't they just have the Goombas to say, let's have a poll if you want the doctor a man or a woman? I don't think anybody's done that.
Well, it's interesting that you said that because in the article they compare other polls that they did, like this one. And there's one in particular here that says, should the 12th Doctor female? And overwhelmingly, 87.1% said male back then.
Right.
As compared to 12.9% who said female. The other poll that they have here in 2014, which is a year after the one I just talked about, it says, are you for or against a female incarnation for the Doctor? And a majority at 53.5% said against it, whereas 46.5% said for it.
So we can't, the only way we're going to have a definitive answer on it is if they do a new poll. Now, the odds are they're not going to do a new poll unless they're influenced to do a new poll. Doctor Who TV UK. Somehow. Would that be a safe assumption?
If they're influenced to do it, then that to me would mean that there's some sort of agenda either way, whether they're for or against it. I would think that there was some sort of agenda on their part that they're trying to get forward. I mean, that's just the way I would interpret it. Because if you have somebody come to them and say, like, let's say you have somebody like us who's against there being a female doctor, and they urge them, like, do the results again, or do a poll again. What else are they what else could they particularly have their hands in? You know what I'm saying? What could they possibly be involved in with the site if they're able to influence them in doing another poll? But again, on the other side, if people who are for a female doctor somehow influenced it, I would ask the same question. Why?
So we can't say that they are for her, unless, or could we say that because
no?
they never
I think it's safe to say that a majority of people on that Jodie Whittaker being the doctor.
The majority of people on Doctor Who TV UK.
Yes.
Okay. And Doctor Who TV UK basically has contributions from fans to continue their site. From what I see, like they said they need to survive, so become a Patreon or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if money talks, and if the Patreon members of Doctor Who TV UK were to ask for a poll, I'm not trying to. Well, I am trying to subliminally message them. Basically, ask for a damn poll for Doctor Who TV UK, and if you don't get the poll, maybe not contribute. Because here's the thing, okay? Enough of. I want a definitive. I don't want no beat around the bush. I want a definitive answer, on that site. Yes or no. And when the results come out, we could truly say that maybe we could say it, that Moffat's full of crap, right?
Because I think we could say that now.
We could say that now.
I think we could say that now. Not just based on this poll, but based on everything else that he's saying that there's no controversy or there's not a lot of controversy. Yes, there is. He just doesn't want to admit that there is. There's a lot of controversy surrounding this.
I understand Moffat lies, but when you lie to the fans about Doctor Who itself, meaning why are you going to a comic? Hello.
Hey.
Hey, Vaughn, what's up?
Not much.
All right, so when Moffat goes to like Comic-Con and flat out lies to the public that there's a very small percentage of Vaughn, you got some static there. I don't know.
Okay.
Is that you? Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. When Moffat goes to Comic-Con and says there's a very, very small percentage of people that don't like the Doctor being a female, he's lying to his effing teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris, could I say from that poll that Chris Hardwick said that 47% of people from that poll are assholes?
I wouldn't say that definitively based on the poll, because again,
okay.
we have to look at what they're asking. They're asking, are you happy with Jodie Whittaker's casting? They're not saying, or they're not asking, are you happy that there's a female Doctor or not? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what I would say is not based on the poll. I wouldn't say that, but what I would say is this: if we're talking about that poll, I would say that he was referencing, or not referencing, but he basically described some of the people who voted no in that poll as assholes. And then, not the whole thing, I wouldn't say.
But if the poll said flat out male or woman,
then I would say yes.
Then Chris Hardwick would have called 47% of the fans assholes.
On that site, I would say.
And here's the thing. Yeah, on that site.
But we got to remember, Doctor Who TV doesn't encompass the whole fan base.
That is true.
We have to keep that in mind. Yeah.
Yeah, Vaughn, you got a lot of static coming from you.
Let me mute real fast because I'm trying to do.
Okay. All right. So here's the thing. All right, and this is the point that I'm trying to make, Chris. A lot of people that were for Jodie Whittaker, right? A lot of those people that actually flat out said, if you're not for the Doctor being a woman, they bashed and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? There was people that have done that in the community. There's people that have done that,
of course,
beyond the community.
That's the narrative. That's the narrative now. The narrative for there being a female Doctor is if you don't agree, you're either sexist, a misogynist, you're a bigot, you don't want the show to progress, you don't want women to progress, you don't think women should be in leading roles, yada, yada, yada. When that's a small majority, don't want a female Doctor.
Right. But my point is, Chris, one of those people, not to put people on the spot, but one of those people
small minority, excuse me.
Small minority of those people. There's some YouTubers that have flat out called us fake news, had flat out said stuff about us. But their narrative is pretty distinct. That same thing. If you don't want there to be a female Doctor, basically they're done with you on their channel. Like they're saying they don't want the subscribers. They don't want this, and this person is the same one that has been really week after week talking crap about my channel. So my ultimate glory now is you fell into the trap, because the moment this poll comes out, a poll that is man or woman, and the poll shows so close to a split as I believe it will compared to the Doctor TVU poll, I pretty much feel it will be the same thing just about, or higher. Then we have something to say. And here's the thing, people. everybody can have a different opinion, okay? In this world, people just cannot accept it right now, and they go after you, and they keep talking, and they keep talking, and they try to weigh you down. And the thing is, nothing is wrong with us for not wanting the doctor to be a female. We're still as big of fans as they are, maybe even bigger. And that is the point. You know, but, you know, I feel justice will be served if that correct poll comes out, because then we will hold them accountable 100,000,000%. And I will flat out mention them on here because justice is served. Again, I always liked Chris Hardwick. You know, I liked him. I didn't like when he did the Doctor Who stuff, though, because I thought he really didn't know his stuff that I thought he did. But to call like anybody that's against a female doctor assholes, well, I'm going to hold him accountable too once that comes out, because I think that's you know, he's going to have to answer to that, or he's going to have to.
This is the thing. You know, if anybody were to call him out, you know what I'm saying, or to say, you know, hey, you know, why did you say that? You know that's not true. He would take one or two stances. He would either backtrack and say, "Oh, I didn't mean it. It was just a joke," or he would say, "Oh yeah, I was wrong. I shouldn't have said that." Yada yada yada. That's what would happen. Okay. Because that's just the way that's just the way the media works.
What's up, Paul? You wanted in. What's up?
Hey, how you going, son? All right?
How are you, sir?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Yourself?
We're talking about this poll on Doctor Who TV UK.
I missed the first 5 minutes. I saw you going live, so I didn't catch the first 5 minutes, but go on.
The poll basically is 47% of the people polled are against Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor.
Oh.
Right. So that means then that Moffat was telling a pile of crap at Comic-Con then.
Well, again, the wording is very distinct. The wording basically doesn't say man or woman.
Right.
It says Jodie Whittaker. Now, what I want is, and I don't think it's really too much to ask, I want Doctor Who TV UK to have the Goombas to do a poll. Do you feel the Doctor should be a man or woman? Two choices. Yes. I mean, no. Are you against? No. Better question is: are you against a female Doctor?
I think we're in a no-win situation. Well, Moffat is, because whatever he said at Comic-Con, he said, man, that was on the record, and it turns out it's possibly, according to Doctor Who TV, a part of it. But
that's my point, yeah.
But on the other hand, once we start going down this road, what you're suggesting, it's going to look upon us as a society, especially over here in the UK, as being sexist, and you know.
No, it's not. Because let me tell you why.
No, we should accept it, and you know why have people got problems with having a woman in the part, you know, an actor.
My point is that I want to address two issues.
Go on.
One, Moffat said a very, very, very small percentage, infinitesimal, are against a female Doctor.
Yeah.
Flat out lied, as far as I'm concerned.
At Comic-Con.
Right.
Yeah.
Chris Hardwick said anybody that is against a female Doctor are assholes.
Yep.
My point and my subject of this whole thing is, if you could prove to me a percentage of a high percentage, like if that was anybody that's against a woman Doctor, and if that percentage is 47% or higher, or even in the 40s, then basically, definitively, there's no way out of it.
Is the Doctor Who fandom, though, going to want to go that far and start saying, well, go on, prove it? Because
my point is I want a simple poll, though. I want a simple poll, because basically that's saying Moffat's full of shit. I'm not talking about if this is not a question of the Doctor should be a man or woman. I'm talking about a poll that basically says flat out, we don't want a female Doctor, right? if they actually had the balls to put that on a site, and if they definitively showed that it's split down the middle or it's 48% or whatever, that high percentage would prove that Moffat's full of crap and that Chris Hardwick told 48% of Doctor Who fans that they're assholes. And I want accountability. And it also holds any YouTubers that came after YouTubers that are for a female doctor, and they are so for a female doctor that they want to destroy anybody who's not. And they even want to destroy their own fan base, and they even want even subscribers. That will rip them to shreds and possibly destroy their YouTube channel.
Well, I if I could just jump in, I have to disagree with you there.
Okay.
Because the moment that poll came out, if let's say they hypothetically were able to do it, right? The moment that poll came out, if it said that 45% were against or 50, whatever, the new narrative would become that that part of the Doctor Who fan base, that half, is exactly what they were saying all along.
But
that will become the narrative that they will spin.
No, but here's what would happen. If the BBC would look at this,
they don't care, dude. They don't care. They don't care. If they cared, they probably wouldn't have done this in the first place. They're not going to let a poll stop them from doing this.
There's an article that come out today in the new edition of the Radio Times. It comes out Tuesday. And it's the first time I've actually seen any kind of written interview with Jodie Whittaker.
Okay.
And she had gone on record, and because the article is basically promotion for this new show, which starts next week, what she's doing.
Yeah, where she's playing a fake doctor.
Yeah.
Not a
it's a 4-part show, by the way, 4-part series. And she's gone on record and said that she was cast in this role 5 months ago.
Oh, crap.
Yep. So it was known since, February, March, April, May, June, July. Yeah, around about February, at the latest March, early March, that they knew that, or very few people knew that it was going to be a female in the role. So the decision was made a long time, and it was cast a long time ago. So
that's around. Oh, that's around when Capaldi did that statement, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that's on record in the Radio Times by Jodie herself. She said she was cast 5 months ago and given the job. She had to keep it a secret. She only told one person, and that was her husband.
Right, of course.
And nothing else was said about it until, obviously, she's done the filming for the little piece what we saw the other week.
All right.
So make of that what you want, but as far as whether it's Moffat was going on figures what he thought that
Moffat was full of crap regardless.
Yeah.
We know that. I just want, my thing is that I don't feel you could say a statement like that.
No.
If it's bullshit. I mean, be honest. I mean, you're lying to your own people that watched. I mean, that's like,
Yeah, and Chris Hardwick as well was making the fans look like shit, basically.
Oh, yeah. I don't really consider, here's the thing. I really don't consider him a fan. Like, I mean, he is a fan, but I don't consider him a huge fan like he is with The Walking Dead.
You don't consider him an authority, basically, on the subject.
I don't consider him an authority, but I don't consider him in the know as much as he leads on to being in the know. Like, he makes it like he's all prepared, and he's president or creator of Nerdist and everything else, but because
what's his background?
But I don't really
know much about the guy. What is his background then? I don't know much about
he's watching all sci-fi, all the big shows, that's what he watches, right? And he talks about it on his things and things he created. But I don't think he's as big, because there was that thing he did with Doctor Who, and people are like, oh, why are you going to let it go? He got the doctors wrong. When he did remember that time, Chris? He missed a couple of doctors. When he was
I don't think I ever saw that.
When he was naming the doctors and he just skipped people, I'm like, oh my God. He's having a heart attack. But, I don't know.
So he's not very knowledgeable.
I mean, I don't know if he's. I can't say he is or he isn't. I don't really know how much of a Doctor
Well,
fan he is. All I know is when he was. Yeah.
You know what the thing is? I don't mean to cut you off, but you know what the thing is? With Hardwick, what you have to remember is that he's one of these guys who will basically defend the things that he likes because he gets a paycheck from them.
Yep.
The problem, and you can notice this, go back to some of the Walking Dead episodes and think about any episode that you didn't like and that the general consensus was this wasn't really a good episode. Watch The Talking Dead if it was around when that episode came out, and I'm almost, if I was a betting man, I would say that he probably found reasons to like it.
Oh yeah, we would have to
because AMC's writing his paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not good in a way either because it's not honesty then.
Exactly. I think that if sometimes he said, I didn't really think this episode was that great, however, let's talk about it anyway, his show wouldn't be on anymore because AMC would be like, how dare you? And then get rid of him. It's the same thing with Comic-Con. He saw the narrative that is, oh, well, most of the people at Comic-Con are probably going to like that Jodie Whittaker is the Doctor, so let me say something controversial. What he should have done, the thing that I would have respected him for, is if he got up there and said, we need to respect each other's opinions.
Yeah.
Don't stir the pot, Hardwick. But instead, he got up there, he put the spoon in the pot, and he stirred the pot.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's
all he wanted to do.
And he made it a million times worse. So all these people want positive stuff. He just created the biggest negative thing ever. That's the whole point. So, listen, if you're for the Doctor or against the Doctor, you're welcome on our show. We're not going to kick you out of our YouTube channel like some people. So,
here's my thing about the whole thing. My point of view, where I'm coming from all this, is that I'm for a female doctor. Don't get me wrong. I think there's a time and a place for that, but this wasn't the right time. It wasn't culturally the right time for this to happen, because I just feel like it's just an agenda now. It's not something. It's a gimmick. It's something that is no thought to it. It's just like the Brett Cromley. The fifth season is all about gimmicks, and this is just the exact same type of stuff I'm seeing with Doctor Who now. It's an attempt to get ratings. There's no thought. There's no passion in it. And don't get me wrong. I mean, maybe I only seen one clip of Chibnall, and this is when he was a child on the show Bashing Trial of the Time Lord. And I don't think he has the fire and creativity. I think that they was desperate. I think they couldn't find a decent showrunner, and they got him.
Right.
And he's going to use it to his best of his ability. I hope he does well with it. But I just think that he's not going to be in it for passion or the creativity or the true love of the show. I think that his only mission as a showrunner is just to get it back on track. So that's why he's pulling these, pulling the stops, basically.
You are never ever going to get it back to the kind of viewing figures you got at its peak with David Tennant. Never.
Yeah.
I heard you talk about this the other day. It was one of the things I didn't bring up the other day when I was talking about a few points, and that was in regards to the viewing figures. Now, we all know how we view our television now is a little bit different now, back, to say 2006 onwards, because, we've got streaming services, we can watch when we want to watch, etc., And so viewers are never going to sit down all together and watch Doctor Who at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock on a Saturday night, together. It's always going to be at a time which suits their convenience. So that means we only get the overnight figures, which are never any good. It's only till you get the all the whole figures put together with the iPlayer, etc., that you get a rough idea of an average figure of how many people have been watching. Now, Doctor Who last season had one episode got its lowest ever figures for one episode. I can't remember which one it was.
There's a lot, I think.
The reason it got its lowest ever figures was because it was up against the final of Britain's Got Talent. Now, when you're up against something like that, Joe, you'd know, like in America, anything was up like America's Got Talent, he's going to lose figures. So it's just the nature of the beast. When you're up against a big reality show, that's it. It was just bad. You know, maybe they should have just left Doctor Who that week and had a week off or something, but they didn't, and it got low viewing figures. As far as Christmas is concerned, and like whether we're still going to get Christmas episodes, the BBC has had faith in for the last 11, 12 years now, to have Doctor Who prime time every year on Christmas Day. Now that's not an easy slot to get, on BBC One. That is a big slot to get on BBC One every single year. Yeah. They've now got a 5-year deal, I believe, with China. So you can look at that as Doctor Who is in safe hands now for at least the next 5 years. It's not going anywhere because of this deal they've got with China.
And when do you ever get money from a foreign thing to influence the show to stay around? Never.
Yeah.
Never been done.
No.
Until now. Thank you, Tim.
But, China give a lot of money to, so that they can have like the last 10 years, 11 years of Doctor Who broadcasts, and also for it to be shown for another further 5 years. But I can't see, it is one of the jewels in the crown of BBC, regardless of the viewing figures. And BBC realise why viewing figures have gone down. It's not because people are not watching it anymore. It's just they're watching it at different times to when they used to just watch it at that time when it was broadcast, and that was it. So people got more choice now, when they watch telly, and they can watch it at a time that suits their convenience. So that just means the viewing figures are never, ever going to be what they used to be. Not in a million years.
Well, hopefully, regardless of polls and whatnot, hopefully she does a good job.
Yeah. I mean,
because if she does, because if she doesn't, then that's only going to spike it even further.
God, that's just like such a precarious position she's in. Like, she has to come through. And if she doesn't, then it's just...
See, I know that she's a feminist in real life. But she can't be a feminist in the role.
Nope.
Because then that's going to be, like, ridiculous.
She can only do as good a job as the writing in front of her, though. It's down to the writing.
But he can't make her a feminist. Like, in the role, I'm saying, shouldn't he? He can, but I hope not. I don't want to see no men bashing, whatever.
That would be so out of character because we going off the theory that this is part of his original makeup. Like it's a certain essence of him still in there. So if they do make it, it'd be so out of character for that character. I mean, no.
It's the subtle things that they do. I don't think the Doctor is gonna like openly come out and be like, I'm a feminist. It's the subtle things that they put in there that will really show you where, like, what audience are they trying to reach? Because everything that we've seen the past few seasons with Capaldi, they always have that subtle jab in there, like, oh yeah, he's gonna be a woman one day. Don't worry about that. Which now has been amplified times 10, in my opinion, because they actually did it for the next Doctor after Capaldi. So I mean, it's going to be the subtle things in the season that will really show you if they want this Doctor to be portrayed as like a feminist figure or something like that.
I wouldn't put it past them to have an episode with involving the women's lib. I said that I wouldn't put it past them to have an episode that took place in the women's liberation movement.
Oh yeah, I know.
Well, look for the line in her first episode, or look for the story or the moral that you're supposed to take from her first episode to be either something like gender doesn't matter, or like gender isn't real, or something like that. Like look for something like that, because I can feel it coming. It's
like, you are beyond your gender. It's like,
something like that. Yeah.
Now, if they use that line, copyrighted Matrix on too. So, yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out, because I heard something today, I read something today that they are definitely gonna air it in the fall now. Is it August, September time frame? It's in a.
We don't have a set time yet, but
That was always the plan. That it was always going to be around
that's
about
the plan.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the plan. Now, if something happens and they can't get it filmed enough, then of course that will change.
There's still no reason though why they couldn't get maybe an Easter special out if they really wanted to. If they wanted to push it hard enough, they could get an Easter special out.
You know. The funny thing is, I was watching the interview with Capaldi from SuperCon. Somebody take the whole interview, and he said something like, they should he suggested at one point that they should do like what we was talking about having like an old doctor come back and do a season. Mm-hmm. Like he even said Paul McGann in the role. And I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he said. He suggested that, and I don't know what happened with it, but he suggested that they should do something with Paul McGann, basically.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, besides that, we had established the other day a Real Whovians Cash interactive, where we have a better chance on Facebook to interact with our subscribers and fans of the show and our regular members. And if anybody wants to be on the show, that is the best place to communicate with us. Real Whovians Cast Interactive. So we have one potential future member in there now that I've been talking to today. And Von's been contacting another one.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we can get them in here tonight. And if not tonight, tomorrow. So we will do our best to try to work that out. Time zones, warranted, whatever. I mean, it's everybody's in a different time zone, so it's going to be too late. Maybe some places we'll see. So we'll do our best to try to help you guys. It's for you guys to actually get new members and watch some new stuff on here. That you watch our channel regularly and stuff like that. So
what are you going to do when? Because obviously it's going to be when the new series airs, or even the Christmas episode come to that. It's going to be aired at a different time, isn't it? So obviously you're going to get it later than we are.
Well,
so
the last time I watched it, later than you guys, but then there was some times that I was able to see it earlier.
Okay.
So when I saw it earlier, we did earlier casts. I don't know what it's going to be like, but no matter what, we're going to do casts anyway. Regardless, sometime that same day. The biggest question is, what are we going to do now that Doctor Who's off the air from now until Christmas, and then from Christmas until September? And like I made an announcement the other day, the Real Whovians cast is going strong. We are still going to have many episodes. We may not have like 15 a week, but we will have a good amount of content for you guys to watch. We are going to be reviewing the classic episodes in a weird specific order of my choosing. And the first episode we're going to review is Robot, Tom Baker's first. And hopefully we can get that going this Saturday. So if anybody wants to be on the Real Whovians cast doing a classic episode review, then watch Robot, and we shall do it Saturday afternoon, possibly. So, or maybe Saturday night, depending on if everybody's busy or whatever.
Yeah, I'm going to be at work during the morning.
Okay. Or maybe we could do it Sundays. I mean, I want to make it where, even if you can't be on one day, maybe we'll do a multi-part like we do when,
There's an article just come up on the Digital Spy about his regeneration. I've just sent it to you, Joe, and it goes in.
Cool.
I haven't really read it myself, but just reading in between the lines, it's talking about the day he filmed his regeneration, and he said it was a beautiful thing and all the rest of it. So I've just sent that to you.
Exciting. All right, we're definitely going to talk about this. Let me send it to Chris. Chris, you want to read it for us?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just get it. Okay. It's the first one, Chris. I'm sending you another one after it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So what does it say? First one.
Okay. So, hold on. Okay, so I'm assuming this is from Capaldi here. It says, "quote a lot of people came to visit. A lot of people decided that that was a great day to come and see what was happening, but I didn't mind that. It was lovely." Of the scene, he added, "quote I felt Stephen Moffat had written something very beautiful and very right for my doctor, so I was just happy to try and do my best with it."
There you go. Right for Capaldi's mouth. I'm excited. I'm happy.
That's hot.
But he wasn't there the same day, though, was he, as Jodie?
Moffat? No, I don't think so.
Are they?
No, you weren't on set together. No.
Oh, so is it going to be a separate regeneration sequence? Like, they're not going to interact at all?
Well, I know Matt Smith and David Tennant interacted a little bit, but I guess he didn't. I don't know. I think that Chibnall didn't want anybody to see her. That's why he didn't, it was a thing he didn't want her there. I don't know.
I know somebody asked him at the on the interview about that. He was like that he hadn't well, I just answered my own question. He haven't talked to her, like he wasn't able to talk to her.
Yeah, he didn't notice she existed until after. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we're gonna go anyway now. I know Chris just dropped off. We're gonna get going for now. Maybe we'll be back later. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Vaughn. And
thank you.
Thank
we'll
you.
see you later. Take care. Bye for now.
Cheers.